If we were to take all of the different teachings of a church body and collect them together, we would call that the confession of that church. It's the body of doctrine, if you will. It's the sum of that church's doctrine. Now, some churches have very clearly written out public confessions, and other churches, well, they don't use those terms, and they like to say that they don't teach anything outside of the Bible, and therefore the Bible is their confession. But in reality, every church does have a confession, whether they formalize it or if it remains informal. And confessions can either come from the Bible, or they can be a mixture of things from the Bible and things from men. So a confession that is based in pure doctrine is a confession that's going to be drawn from the Bible itself, not from the teachings of men, but from the teachings of God. This would be a public confession. It's out there for the world to see and to hear and to know. And anyone who belongs to a particular church body is really saying, this is what I believe. This is my public confession. Now, what that individual believes personally in their hearts, is really hidden from the world. We hope it shows in one's life, but if there's any question about what the person believes, we would default to their public confession. So as a Lutheran, my confession, my public confession, is what the Lutheran Church confesses. Personally, I know and understand and agree with this public confession, so my personal confession and my public confession line up together. And this is what we would want for any Christian, that what they believe personally is also what they profess publicly. Now, the Lutheran confessions are collected together into a single work that's called the Book of Concord. And a Book of Concord is made up of multiple documents that really span, from the 1520s to 1580. And in 1580, the book was finalized and formalized. And in that book is everything that Lutherans believe as it's drawn from the Holy Scriptures. So the Bible is not a topical book. It's a narrative. It's a story, God's love story. And it doesn't just list out things. Like if I want to know what Lutherans believe about baptism, I can go to the Lutheran Confessions. And in the Lutheran Confessions, there's a cross-reference to all sorts of Bible references, where the Bible speaks about baptism. And we find it scattered throughout the Bible, Old Testament and New Testament. And so confessions are very useful tools to help people understand what a church body believes and teaches, what their doctrine is. And also for someone to find a church body whose public confession is a reflection of what they personally confess about Jesus Christ.